Here at Dumpster Fire, we worship at the altar of South Park. And so as you know, or maybe you don't, South Park is back. The newest season of South Park opens with a douchebag crying about what they're going to make fun of without NPR.
What do you mean the president canceled NPR? That was like the funniest shit ever.
You know, the exact thing I was saying earlier this week. Turns out I'm Cartman.
Typical Jew sticking up for another Jew.
Or maybe we're all Cartman now. That's right, South Park is back and they brought Jesus, Saddam Hussein, Trump's penis, and PC Principal with them. It is a throwback to all things South Park. If you haven't watched the latest episode, go watch it now because I will be spoiling the plot points throughout this episode. If you haven't watched South Park the first night it's out, or at least the very next morning, why are you even watching this show? You won't get our sense of humor. Even though the culture is hard to make fun of, some things will always be funny. Like a fat man with a small talking penis.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I endorse this message.
South Park has nothing to make fun of anymore. This is a problem that I experience with this show. It's not that I want the world to be bad, but if it's not, then I'm out of a job. As we've said many, many times here, what's bad for America is great for Dumpster Fire.
Are you having a bad time? Because to us, a bad time is...
Yeah, a good time, because you guys are like Oscar the fucking Grouch.
Now, Cartman knows our pain. The pain of winning! Winning the culture. It's cliche, but it's being proven true right now. It's lonely at the top. And what South Park is at the top of is satirizing the world. But what do you do when the world has gone beyond parody, when it's a Phetasy? Yeah, that's right. I made up a word for this in 2001. Where are my accolades? But truly, what is your purpose? You can't subvert expectations or norms when there are none. You can't offend if the people you're trying to offend live to be offensive. So what can you do except make an AI video of a fat, naked Donald Trump with his penis talking to him? The balls of the South Park team are immeasurable. These guys just, and I mean just, signed the dotted line on a $1.5 billion deal with Paramount, turned right around and basically said Paramount is cucking for Donald Trump.
Were they big? These balls were huge.
They literally used the money they got from Paramount to viciously mock Paramount. I mean, this headline says it all. South Park mocks Paramount settlement with Trump after creators sign a $1.5 billion deal. But this was more than just a ballsy satire. This was a classic episode of South Park with all of the lore, calling back to old episodes. So much for fans like me who watched the very first episode the very night that it launched. I was waiting for it, and it lived up to all of my expectations and exceeded them. Cartman's story arc is hilarious. He's been kind of the id of the show and, frankly, America. And in this episode, he wrestles with his own irrelevance in a world where you can say retard and faggot again without fear of cancellation. An ancillary storyline was PC Principal, who's now preaching the word of Christ, which is hilarious, although my personal opinion, and maybe this is coming down the line in this season, is that it would have been even better if anti-woke, now lost in the wilderness, Cartman found Jesus. Because if you're actually trying to make something that's analogous to the culture right now, all of the kind of anti-woke, centrist, dissident dialogue types are now moving toward the light of the Lord. I'll probably be on my way any minute now. PC is now standing for Power Christian. And so what's their point in PC Principal's conversion? I think there were a few points. One was that it really wasn't a huge leap for his character, since wokeism is very much already a religion. Going from woke warrior to evangelical is really just going to a different church but keeping the same preachiness. You're not really changing much about your tone, it's just content. The other, that everything is upside down. We're all stuck in an inception dream without a totem. The right is now leading the culture. The left have become the purity police. And even that commentary feels dated. And it's only been 6 months since the shift really took place. There are already factions falling apart, coalitions breaking up, horseshoes uniting, everything is inverting. It's a dream inside a dream.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
That's how fast everything moves now. One day your principal is woke, the next he's threatening to expel you if you don't accept Jesus. Who knows where he'll be by the end of the season?